what are 2-3 areas where some positive news could come out for the fintech industry?
I think, the most obvious thing is there are also some, like we've talked of some business models which don't make sense, but there are also some very good business models which are getting built, which might just be, unfortunately, capital constrained, right? In some ways. So I think interest rates, stabilizing, coming off, investor interest coming back up, whether through VC or other forms of capital, I think that would be one thing which would be really well appreciated. I think the other point comes to, again, if people can really move away from that inertia and start trusting again, and see, by and large, I think they still do. I don't think people are getting away from these platforms, but I think the adoption has become a bit slower. People are like, why move away, and so on and so forth. So getting back, on this kind of trust kind of setup and all. And I think lastly, and I know we've not touched upon this, right? But I think a lot of this discussion was like fintechs, banks, or like, David Goliath and all that stuff. I actually feel, and this is again like my personal view, that I feel there'll be more synergies that they would work with, because banks have something incredible. They have, as you said, a massive user base, deposit, trustworthy. They sometimes have this internal inertia, etc. So I think some banks will take the path of building it, but it's not in the DNA of many banks. And for the others, like I would hope over time they start actually working with some of the fintechs, and I actually see much more of it will happen, because in reality, is both of them need, right? Fintech probably needs them a little bit more in this point, but in due time, the banks will also need. Otherwise, they will also have existential crisis, right? If not today, 5 years, 10 years down the line. I think that would be the third thing that I would be looking forward to see, and I think we'll see it. Yeah, we are already seeing it in early signs in some areas like payments and all, but I think it'll extend to other verticals as well.
No, absolutely, and you made some, that is a very, very interesting point, because I've somehow feel in the environment we are in today. If banks in the US had like a robo-advisory partner offering money market funds, they wouldn't have had a bank run like what they had.
Right.
And I think about it at times.